Welcome to Stock Exchange, wow, I already messed up. Welcome to Stock Exchange, the show where I have 15 stocks to interview my opponents. As soon as the final stock is taken, the interview ends. That is GG's. Oh my God, I cannot lose already. There we go. This week, I'm joined by Coach Zeke. They've got a laundry list of hitters in their coaching resume with names like Cake Assault, Penguin, Light, and Tweak, and Wizrobe across multiple games. Zeke, how are you doing today? And you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. I'm Coach Zeke. I'm having a lovely day today. Yeah, you haven't. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, I'm Coach Zeke. How's it going? I have been playing competitive games as a whole for over 15 years now, and I've been coaching for about 10 years now as well. Happy to be here. Really excited to see what kind of questions you have for me today, Wisely.
All right. How long have you been coaching, and how did you get into it?
I've been coaching, I think it's 8 or 10 years, somewhere between there. And I got into it back in Smash 4 was when I really started offering it. That was kind of the time where in Smash people were really into like the resource side of like, how do I learn how to play this game? And I initially like started doing it for free for a lot of people that were just trying to learn and play, because you know that was like one of the first Smash games that had like real online where you could learn and play with everybody.
Claiming that any Smash game has real online is a statement, but I know I understand what you mean though.
Yeah. You're definitely right on that. The online was definitely never the greatest and probably never will, but that's okay. We still have fun with it.
So you've coached over 2,000 people in dozens of games. What is the strangest coaching request you've ever gotten?
So fun fact, I haven't updated that. It's actually 4,000 now.
I was just looking at your website. That's it.
Yeah, no, I have to update that. It's actually, that is an old metric that I have to fix. I hit 4,000 this year, actually, which is really surreal to say every time I say it. And then the weirdest request I've gotten, like...
Either games or like the person's like, hey, dude, I don't care about getting better. I just need to beat my neighbor. Like,
yeah. Some of my favorites that stick out is I've had players from like other platform fighters be like, I know you don't know anything about this game, but I would like your coaching. Like that was kind of a big thing for me in like NASB, where I was mostly like teaching a lot of players like how to play neutral correctly in that game and stuff like that for like the first little bit of that game's release. And then one of my favorite like funny ones is back when I coached Mr. MSV in Rivals 1, he came to me and said, I don't want you to tell me what to do better. I want you to tell me what you're telling people to do, and I want to reverse engineer what you're telling them.
That also in my sounds like something MSB... How did I go to the right? That sounds like something MSB would say.
Thanks, Trevor. Yeah, no, it is very much an MSB-ism. he loves it and he owns it completely. And then I've worked with players from all the way in the range of like, what do you call it? I've coached the dad who wants to beat their friend. I've coached kids who are trying to just like be the best player in their high school. And then I've worked with some of the best players in the world and like professional like teams and varsity teams. So I've kind of gotten the whole spectrum at this point, which is really cool.
I've just discovered that MSB is in chat.
Yes, he is.
So you've coached like full teams too. I didn't know that part.
Yeah. My full-time job actually is coaching Smash Brothers Ultimate varsity teams. That's like what pays the bills. Yeah, I've worked with schools. The most notable schools that I've worked with that people might recognize would be Shenandoah, Lubbock, as well as Mount St. Mary's. And I've worked with a couple different high schools as well, which is really cool.
Nice. Do you mainly do the school coaching locally or remote then?
Completely remote.
Okay.
Yeah, everything I do is remote unless I'm like at an event. Or like
that makes sense.
School like brings me to an event.
That makes sense. What is the single biggest piece of advice you give someone that's trying to learn a new plat fighter or fighting game?
The biggest thing is to like generally understand what your buttons do and like what it looks like when other people's buttons are being pressed. A lot of people get too focused on the idea of like trying to press the good buttons or the best buttons and trying to like overanalyze everything they do. And the biggest thing you need to be able to do is actually see the game and be able to process what is happening in the moment. And a big part of that is like actually understanding how everything works functionally and what it looks like. A lot of people get really focused on looking at themselves and don't get to kind of use that part of the game nearly enough.
I was so scared you were going to get back from that somehow.
Yeah, I almost
did. I don't
did.
think Olympia can, but I don't know.
I definitely could have.
Well, okay, without it like being a forced error kind of thing is what I meant.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
I have a question. Okay, I'm back on stage.
Yeah, you really, yeah, you want to get back.
And I looked at the other side thinking I could do something during the wrap. All right. You've talked a lot about coaching. We've mentioned you've coached everything from like person that's like, I just want to beat my coworker to world champs.
Yep.
What do you think is the biggest highlight of your coaching career?
Oh, there are a couple players that like I'll never forget their wins. The most notable player that I've worked with like the most throughout my career is probably Cosmos for Smash, Smash 4 and Smash Ultimate. There was definitely
I had him on the list and I just didn't say his name because
Oh, that's okay.
I was getting beat too bad.
He's the player like. There's a thing that a lot of people tend to talk about where it's like a lot of players have gotten coaching, but there are very few cases of player who is like not very good who then gets coaching and becomes very good. And near the end of Smash 4, he was pretty heavily debated to be potentially the best in the world. And then going into the first year of Ultimate was carrying that into being top 10. And like there were many wins and sets that he played that like I vicariously experienced. And that carries into Rivals too, where like the first time Penguin beat Cake, like, or like did well against Cake even, like I felt it. And those moments are really special. That's definitely something I'll never forget.
All right. I imagine that has to be like, for a coach, maybe even more than you used to be a competitor.
Yes.
Like watching your player do well has to be like the best feeling in the world, even compared to like if you yourself wanted something like a result.
No, it really is cathartic is like the best word where it's like, oh my God, like what I'm doing is working. Like it's validation too, where I'm like, I do know what I'm talking about. That's cool.
One of us is dead. Nope, never mind.
Nope. I've never died.
Never in your life.
No, never. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do.
All right. I don't know if you know this. Do you know your own stream analytics very well?
Sometimes.
Do you know that over the last 90 days, you are the largest Rivals 2 streamer?
I do know that. Yeah.
By watch hours.
Yep. That is true. I do know that.
The only one that beats you is the team that streams CEO, which I don't think we're going to include, but you're definitely the largest streamer who's done it.
Yep. Yeah, non-tournaments and outside of that, I have the most watch hours as well.
Well, watch hours is how I determined it.
Yeah.
You're second though, even with those determinations.
Who's number one?
Is Juicy Game Night. Because they stream CEO.
Cool.
But
yeah.
You are still second.
I meant excluding that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Even with those, you're second is the crazy part.
That's cool.
You also have your Cast or Curse podcast with Nurse.
Yep.
You've been doing in-person boothing at majors. I know you've made some YouTube videos before. Most people don't know this, but you actually used to work like behind the scenes in content creation too, just not Rivals related.
Yep.
What is one thing you haven't been able to do with your content yet that you really want to do someday?
It is very much long-form content, and it's something that I'm actively working on as we're speaking, pretty much.
Okay.
It's in the works, and it's continuing to build out the workflow and stuff. With my prior experience with content creation, I'm, to a fault, a bit picky, and, off camera, we discussed the idea of, like, there's lots of test videos.
You and I both talked about this before.
Exist. Yeah.
The only reason I know that you have worked.
Yep. And the big thing is there are a lot of videos that I've made for the sake of understanding like the format and being like, I might build on this, maybe I won't. And a lot of them I end up not, or it just hasn't panned out in a way that I've liked, whether it be the editor, my own time, my own priorities shifting. But long form content is the biggest thing I want to add by the end of this summer is the goal. To really help not only like bring more people to the game and learn more about me, but to have more available resources to learn this game at a higher level. Because this game is really hard.
Are you still trying to stick to like mainly like learning and training? Oh, I missed every part of that.
It's gonna be definitely a mix. Like my goal is like I want it to be entertaining.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. Is like if it's not entertaining, like if I don't like watching it, then I'm not uploading it. That's just not happening. And that's kind of my rule for it right now. Is like it has to be genuinely entertaining, and I try to make my coaching very approachable so that it is fun. To kind of elevate that idea as well. Nice.
Okay. All right. No, I feel the same way. That's why even if I'm not doing every tournament recap, I'm doing just like, all right, there was this big thing and there's a cool story to tell there or whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. Conversely, so you said one thing that you really want to work on. What's something you think is lacking in the current content creator scene, whether it's for Rivals or fighting games as a whole?
I think Rivals, I'll probably stick to that just because that's more of what I've been consuming recently. Bluntly, I think most people's streams are just playing ranked. There isn't really any sort of fun formats besides like Zeus, and even then, I love Zeus, but it's like it's ranked with a twist usually, right?
Yep. And
I think
I've done
we
ranked
need to
with a
have
twist
more
before
fun
too, but I also do other stuff like this.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like more things like this that's about like the community or like the personalities is something we desperately need. Both like on the community side, and like I think it's something that the devs can even like assist with too, is like I think there's so many amazing, genuinely funny and entertaining people that are just not provided the podium to show that. And I think that is going to be a really big thing that will make people more invested in the game. You know, there are so many people that like in a Discord call, the funniest person you've ever met. And if they're not given the opportunity, yeah, you like don't get it. And I really want to see more of that.
I was telling someone recently that I think they were pretty surprised. I was like, I don't watch many Rivals streams or like YouTube videos unless it's like something really interesting. And I think too many of them are just, I am playing the game now again.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really big thing. Like I've had a lot of my friends who are not from Rivals be like, hey, I love watching your stream. It's like entertaining and I have no idea what this game is. And it's like, that's the best compliment I've ever gotten streaming this game by far. It has nothing to do with my coaching or anything. You're just like, yeah, it's fun. You make this game more fun. And I'm like, that's the goal. Is like, it is a game and it should be about it being fun. And it's something that I definitely want to continue to grow on my own as well. You know, that's where a lot of my time has been, is like trying to hook up, you know, more content ideas that we can then build on once we get past the educational content that builds my like initial brand.
Sure. All right. Despite coaching world-class talent in like multiple titles, I know you've recently said that you are all in on Rivals 2 specifically, and not trying to do any multi-game stuff. I'm sure you still coach for other games, but why is that? Why do you think? No, please
Very
stop.
bluntly, it's the game I have the most fun playing myself right now. I play it every day, and I've always made myself follow a rule that it's like if I don't actually like the game, I don't coach it and I don't make content on it. My least favorite thing is when a creator or a streamer or whatever streams a game that they don't like. The idea is supposed to be fun. And that shit sucks. Bluntly, it really ruins the vibe, and I think it affects the game too. Like, I can't stand watching somebody, you know, stream X live service game, and every cue that they do is like, oh my god, I can't wait to fight X character, and it's gonna make this game so unfun, and then immediately begin crashing out.
Sure.
I'm a big believer in that. And like there are even like modern games that like I just have not vibed with. Like I have bought the latest Street Fighter twice and tried it and returned it within the 2-hour window because I didn't like it. And it's not that I think the game's bad.
I love that game, but
like
if you don't like it, you don't like it. Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm not gonna sit and stream a game that I don't like. Gotcha. But I'm super against that. It's a big thing that like I've made the mistake of in the past of just like streaming something that I didn't genuinely enjoy, and it ruined streaming for me for years because of that.
So you were saying this for coaching too, though. I thought that that was just a streaming thing. I did not realize you don't coach games you don't enjoy either.
Yep. Yeah. Hard rule for myself. I don't want it to leak over because the idea is like they're coming to me for answers, and if I'm like, yeah, this is
sucks,
this is not
but here's
fun.
what you got to do. Yeah,
and it's like that doesn't feel good, and it's not gonna be productive. Like the goal, like I said with everything, is like I want people to like genuinely enjoy and have fun with this, and like that's the energy I'm trying to spread.
I've jumped into your forward air so many times.
You sure have, bud. Careful, man. Only 3 more stocks.
I know.
Make them count.
I know.
I can give you
I was
more
keeping
time.
it
Here,
way more even than I thought for a bit, and then it has gone downhill. All right.
Cool. I'll give you some more time. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. It's fine. If you could make one change to Rivals 2, what would it be?
I want them to make it so that arcane bubbles go away when you either hit him or grab him. That's it. That's gotta go. I hate it. That's my #1 ask.
That was a very real change then. All right.
Yeah, no BS. Genuine thing that I'm like, I don't get why that's a thing in this game, and it makes me very frustrated because nothing else follows that rule. Like even like Obza, you grab her, cloud goes away. Bubbles though, I side B, like I side special with Olympia and grab Orcane, and if there's bubbles, I get hit by it and it breaks it, and I think that's really obnoxious.
Uh-oh, that should not have hit. I was not prepared for it to hit. All right. Similarly, not a change, but if you got one character, either a returning character or a specific archetype to Rivals 2, what would it be?
Sylvanas.
Sylvanas?
Sylvanas was my favorite character from Rivals 1. It was my favorite character to coach as well. I think that character is so cool.
All right. Is there any brand new characters that you are excited about, or character archetypes that you wish were in the game?
That's a great question. I don't really know. I actually really like.
Oh no!
I really like. No, mind control never fails, chat. Mind control never fails. If any of my viewers want, please use the emote.
But I still have to.
Yeah. I don't know. I can tell you characters that I don't want to be in the game, but I definitely don't have a character that besides Sylvanas, that I really want. I really like the spread of characters that are currently in the game, and I think they're very fun.
All right.
Yeah.
There's a running joke from your community that's been slowly taking over the whole rival scene. How did Thanks Trevor start?
Yeah, so in this game, moves have really egregious reverse hitboxes. And we as a community have decided that Trevor, who is a lovely enjoyer of a certain other platforming fighter that also did this very egregiously, we have decided that it's his fault, but in like a fun way. So on my stream, when someone hits a very egregious reverse hitbox and it kills,
I was like,
you got me. You got me.
I messed up because I panicked.
We have a command, ! Trevor, that counts the amount of times that I have thanked Trevor. And it's really just out of curiosity to see like how much it really does happen. And man, does it happen quite a bit. It's funny. I get a kick out of it.
And say, because I've now heard other people bring that up on commentary. Like, it is not just your community and your stream anymore.
I love that. Yeah, we've had a couple now of that, which is crazy to think about. Oh no.
Oh, you're
making it back.
Oh, no, there we go. There we go. Yeah, someone in chat literally just said, I didn't know that was a Zeke thing.
Yep.
They didn't know that's where that started.
Oh no.
All right. Wait, there was... Okay. So, we've talked about characters that you want to return. You said there's a couple you don't want to return. I was actually... That's not a question I've written down, but I'm very curious to hear who that is.
I would pay an exorbitant amount of money to Dan directly to make sure Eliana never gets put in the game. Ever.
No one has so aggressively camped me in this game, and that includes on ranked, not even in the interview.
You know what? I'm down for one more question. Yeah, but Eliana is the answer. I would pay literal money to keep her out of the game forever.
Okay, why Ellie though?
I think she is the most unfun archetype that they've created. Is a aggressively hard character to balance, and they never figured it out in the first game. No hate to the devs, but they didn't.
They did try to rework her like 4 times.
Yeah,
Jesus,
yeah.
The character is so fast.
Yeah, and it's just one of those kits. It's very like Raster, like, oh, it's like Raster. Like, this kit is just designed to be broken. You can't have a character that zones so aggressively and gets so much value off doing it, and is also able to touch a death to you off of like single hits. You just can't do that, and it's not fun to fight against in any capacity.
I didn't think you sweet spotted. Okay. All right, so Eliana, for sure. I'm very curious. How did you learn about Rivals 1 originally? I think everyone seems to have different answers for how they got into the game, and you were playing Rivals 1 before I was, so.
Yeah, I went to, I forget what Genesis it was, and they had a side event for it. And very funny enough, I've told this story to this person.